A shocking incident just happened in Zhengzhou, Henan. A school principal disappeared after taking off with over 90 million RMB. We've heard stories of gym owners or beauty salon bosses vanishing with money, but a school shutting down overnight? That's pretty rare. Over 3,000 students showed up for class only to find the place completely empty. And this wasn't a cheap school either. Tuition costs over 4,000 per student per year. The local education bureau later said the school had already been deregistered and wasn't even allowed to operate. But here's the big question. If the school had no license, how did it keep enrolling students and running so openly? Thousands of kids were coming and going every day. How did the Education Bureau miss that? It's almost laughable. According to public records, the school only had 100,000 RMB in registered capital and has already been flagged as a defaulter. Parents said that the school advertised itself as the oldest and most established elementary school under the Zhengzhou Yuren Education Group. It was supposedly founded in 2007 and promised high-quality full-time education. Many parents chose this school because of its promises of professionalism and high standards. Now that it's abruptly shut down, they're both angry and helpless, with some saying, "This principal is completely irresponsible, treating our children's education like a joke." In recent years, incidents of schools suddenly closing have become increasingly common. Recently, Haoda Academy, the top private school in Shenzhen, unexpectedly shut down. The reason was long-standing unpaid rent and facility fees, ultimately leading to financial difficulties, leaving over 1,000 students and teachers without a school. In 2020, Haoda Academy had an impressive 94.19% undergraduate acceptance rate, making it a dream school for many students. What's even worse is that this isn't just happening in Shenzhen. Over the past few years, nearly 20 private schools in Guangzhou have closed down between 2020 and 2024. Recently, many parents have reported that they enrolled their children in well-known private schools, only to find out that the schools suddenly shut down. This has left parents unsure of how to move forward. In fact, given the current tough economic environment, it's becoming increasingly common for early education centers to close, educational institutions to suspend operations, and private schools to face financial crises. These have all become worrying trends. There's also growing attention to the fact that while the number of students taking the college entrance exam has been rising every year, private universities may soon face a wave of shutdowns. This September, Yingtian Vocational and Technical College in Nanjing, a well-established private university that has been operating for over 20 years, faced the prospect of shutting down due to financial difficulties. Over 40 faculty members will have to find new jobs, and more than 300 students may not be able to complete their studies. At the same time, some private universities are struggling with enrollment. For instance, Zhangjiang University of Science and Technology had 2,000 fewer students than planned this year. In recent years, enrollment in private universities has become increasingly difficult. Taking Guangxi as an example, the minimum score for the 2024 physics-based undergraduate program was 371. But some local private universities set their admission score as low as 336 and still couldn't meet their enrollment targets. Some students even turned down their offers. For example, although Guangdong Baiyuan University enrolled over 1,400 new students, many failed to show up for registration. Now, with the higher education becoming more widespread, more and more families are focusing on whether their children will be able to find a job after graduation. As a result, vocational schools and public institutions focused on employment are becoming more popular. If private universities can't offer quality education and strong job guarantees, they may face a loss of students and even closure. It's not just universities, even some kindergartens are facing issues. One parent shared that their child's kindergarten suddenly shut down, leaving the parents shocked and unsure of what to do next. One parent dropped their child off at kindergarten as usual, and the teachers even sent out the course schedules and meal plans. However, by Tuesday afternoon, the kindergarten suddenly informed parents that it would be closing the next day. All the parents were shocked to learn that the school had been struggling with financial issues for some time. In less than 3 months since the school year began, the children had already had 3 different foreign teachers. Due to financial difficulties, the school couldn't even maintain basic operations, and there was no money left to buy ingredients for meals. The teachers hadn't been paid for 45 days, and in the end, the school decided to shut down.
已经是有45天没有拿到工资了。
As a large number of schools are closing, it's estimated that by 2035, over 1.5 million elementary school teachers and 370,000 middle school teachers will lose their jobs. To address the surplus of teachers, some county-level cities have started recruiting master's and doctoral graduates from top universities. In addition, children's art training institutions are also facing difficulties. Recently, multiple branches of I22 International Children's Art Space in Beijing suddenly suspended classes or shut down. One parent, Miss Lee, shared that she had enrolled her child in 200 courses, but before the institution closed, they had completed less than a third of them. According to reports, nearly 1,000 parents like Miss Lee were affected by the closure of I22's two campuses in Beijing's Daxing and Haidian districts, with course fee losses exceeding 870,000. Many parents felt reassured about paying the fees when they saw that the institution had a regulatory account, but they were still hit with a surprise closure. It's not just the schools that are closing. Various industries across China are facing a wave of shutdowns, and hospitals are also struggling with bankruptcy and closure. Recently, two well-known women's and children's hospitals have found themselves in trouble due to financial difficulties, attracting widespread attention. According to Taihai Net, Xiamen Lugang Women's and Children's Hospital had been sealed by the court due to poor management, and the hospital is now empty. This private hospital has been mired in controversy due to negative news in the past, and it ultimately couldn't survive the tough times of 2024. Next to the court seal, there was a notice explaining that the hospital was involved in serious labor disputes. A payment reminder from the local power company showed that they had owed 8,200 in unpaid electricity bills that had been overdue for a while. Another hospital in trouble is the Weifang Aima Women's and Children's Hospital. It recently issued a notice saying it's filing for bankruptcy and restructuring because of financial issues. The hospital has completely shut down. The announcement pointed out that the pandemic, economic decline, and falling birth rates have severely impacted hospital operations, leading to financial difficulties. Weifang Ima, a reputable women's and children's hospital, was known for its wide range of services, including obstetrics, gynecology, family planning, maternal and child care, and postpartum rehabilitation. This issue isn't isolated. According to the China Health and Wellness Statistical Yearbook, the number of specialized women's and children's hospitals in China decreased in both 2020 and 2021, resulting in nearly 800 closures by the end of 2021. Suqian Children's Hospital, established in 2005 with funding from Zhangji Gong Hubao Trading Development Company Limited, is a secondary private hospital managed by pediatric doctors from the former Suqian People's Hospital. Currently, Suqian Children's Hospital faces compulsory liquidation, with an auction scheduled for November 27, 2024, starting at nearly 66 million. Despite this, the hospital continues to operate normally. The bidding announcement specifies that prospective buyers must use the hospital's assets solely for healthcare, maintain its current functions, and ensure uninterrupted medical care for existing patients while preserving quality and safety. The hospital initially invested 62 million, covering 80,000 square meters and planning for 500 beds. Recently, in October 2023, it was officially recognized as a secondary children's hospital, but after nearly 20 years, it now faces bankruptcy and auction. According to the National Health Commission, over 62% of hospitals in the country are currently operating at a loss. Once a profitable sector, healthcare now faces significant income disparities among hospitals. Key reasons include an imbalance in medical resource distribution, with smaller hospitals struggling to attract patients while larger ones expand rapidly. Additionally, issues within medical payment systems worsen financial pressures, as delays in settling expenses force hospitals to cover costs up front, which is further complicated by payment platform delays and penalties. This year, we are seeing a wave of closures among public hospitals. The affiliated hospital of Jiyang College, Meizhou, has filed for bankruptcy and hasn't paid its employees for 10 months. Last year, the 4th People's Hospital in Lishan closed down, followed by Longshan Hospital in Zhejiang. And recently, the 2nd People's Hospital in Huiyuan County has also shut its doors. While these facilities aren't top tier, they are secondary public hospitals. Experts predict that by 2025, many more public hospitals will likely face similar closures. In the past, we primarily observed the collapse of private hospitals, but now the problem of public hospital closures is becoming increasingly apparent.